Do you want some help getting started with teaching self-government at home? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, and how to build strong family bonds through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're going to be talking about getting started. I'm making this video because people have reached out to me time and time again and said, Nicholeen, will you please just make a video about how to get started with teaching self-government? I've been listening to so many videos and I just don't know what to do first. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about self-government, some of the nuts and bolts of self-government, and how to get started. I've been teaching self-government now since 1999. When I started doing therapeutic treatment care for troubled teens, people started asking me why these teens were changing my house so drastically and what I was doing that made such a difference. I told them I'm just teaching them self-government skills, and they wanted to know why and more. And so people started asking me to teach about self-government. They invited me to go to their churches and conferences and support groups. And so I started helping people and thought it would be pretty short-lived, but it ended up being a full life's work. And I'm glad, because self-government truly is the thing that probably changed my life more than anything else. I used to be a person who would be emotional and would say things that I would regret afterward, but not anymore. Now I think things through before they come out my mouth. And even though I am more of an impulsive person and I like to just fly by the seat of my pants, I don't do that with my words or my relationships, and everything has changed. If you want that for your family, then this is a good place for you to find yourself. Your children are never too old or too young to learn the skills and principles of self-government. In this video, I am assuming that the parents listening have a variety of ages of children. So I'm going to assume someone has a child who's maybe 3, and then they maybe have a child who's 7 and a child who's 14. That's probably not accurate for hardly any of the homes, but hopefully that would make it so that no matter the age of your children, I'm going to give you the what to do first, second, and third. So self-government, it's important to understand what that means before we start talking about what to do. Now, if you've already subscribed to this channel, then you know self-government means understanding the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, well, you better, because there's so much here all about self-government. So when a person learns self-government, it starts with themselves. That's the whole point of self-government. The best ways to learn the Teaching Self-Government program are either to do the 3-day Parenting Mastery Training, which you can find information about the upcoming trainings at teachingselfgovernment.com. And if they're filled, you can sign up on a reserve list so that you get asked first for the next ones when they come around. I only do about 4 of those a year just because that's all the time that I've got with all of the other speaking that I do. But having those 3-day intensives are usually what help people the very most. But other people who maybe can't fly to where I'm going to be, or they don't have time during those 3 days when I'm doing the intensives, they do the next best thing, which is the TSG parenting course. Now, the TSG parenting course on teachingselfgovernment.com actually takes you step by step through the implementation of teaching self-government at your house. But in this video, what I'm going to do is just tell you in general the process that you're going to want to go through. Step number 1 is to make sure that you assess yourself. This book here, Popular Parenting Methods, is the perfect book for doing some self-assessment on your own parenting styles and some of the traps that you might fall into. It also can really help husband and wife or other caretakers get on the same page with how the child is going to be raised. It will help you see what things you've got to stop doing in order to make way for self-government at your house. After you understand the different types of parenting and what they might be doing to your children, then you're ready to do some further analysis. So this inside work really does matter. I know a lot of people want to skip straight to skills, but I wouldn't if I were you. I would definitely start with myself. making sure that I'm calm, that I'm okay. There is a whole class on my website called The Power of Calm. The Power of Calm is a class about the 6-step process for how to be calm when someone else isn't, and how to help them get calm without losing your calmness at the same time. This is usually considered a vital piece for most parents who are trying to learn to teach their children calmness while not losing control themselves. So after you have listened to that class, The Power of Calm, then you'll want to move on to the Roles book. Roles, the secret to family, business, and social success, is going to be especially helpful if your children are maybe ages 6 and up. Younger than age 6, you may not need this book just yet. The whole idea of this book is to help families get their roles in the right place so that the teaching can happen properly. This book is a story of the Justice family, and you see what happens in their family when the roles are not observed. Dysfunction occurs, and people get very frustrated because others don't want to help out, because there's a lot of selfishness. So you learn through this story how to have conversations that will get your roles in the right place. After you have a conversation with the family about roles, and you would do this individually, by the way, then what you do is you move on to a discussion about vision. So in the TSG parenting course, I talk about creating a vision for the future, a 20-year vision for the family, so that your family knows what they are trying to accomplish as a group. Your family vision gives the family a reason why that they would care about learning the skills and principles of self-government anyway. After the family vision, now we're finally ready for our skills. These children's books each teach one of the 4 basic skills of self-government. The 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. When your children learn these 4 basic skills, which are actually just adult skills, and when you learn them too, you'll never see the world the same again. And it will take care of 99% of their behavioral problems. Each one of these skills has a skill set attached to it. What I highly recommend is using a family motivational model, which I call a bean jar, in order to learn the 4 basic skills. Read the books, practice, move the beans to the next jar, and then you're ready to learn how to correct negative behaviors, as well as how the teaching moments are going to happen at home. When you move the beans from one jar to the next jar, you are telling them, we're getting there, we're getting close. This is our motivation system. It helps the family see that they're learning and that they're making progress, and when they're going to be done too. There are 5 different teaching styles that I teach in the TSG parenting course. You're going to want to teach those 5 different teaching styles to the children as well. They need to learn how you will praise them, pre-teach them, correct them, do intensive teaching and parent counseling sessions. They need to know the steps to the majority of those skills. When they know all the steps to the skills that you are going to be using to help them in their learning moments, this actually decreases their anxiety and increases their predictability so that they can learn how to be corrected in calmness. After you learn all of the skills of self-government, then it's time for the family meeting. Get yourself a family meeting journal and start keeping record of what your family is discussing on a weekly basis. This creates a beautiful family history record for your family to go back to remember some of the things that were happening in your life in certain years and what concerns you had as a family when everyone was growing up. It also helps you have a record to go back to if you forget how you planned on handling a certain circumstance as a group. You'll want to have the family meetings on a weekly basis so that you circle back around to see how you're doing at becoming the type of family that you created in that family vision. As part of meetings, make sure you're doing couples meetings. So this journal helps you keep track of your couples conversations where you discuss each of the children, your schedules, and issues related to your couple relationship. The couples meeting actually holds all of the other meetings together. So make sure that you're setting it as a priority. Try to have all of the meetings one time a week. So set a time that you will have your couples meeting and maybe follow after your couples meeting with that family meeting. As part of teaching how you will correct and teach the children, you need to teach the family economy. The family economy is talked about in the TSG parenting course. This is the system of credits and debits. This is where you'll talk about rights, privileges, consequences, like positive consequences, negative consequences, and many other things. Also, you will talk about problem-solving exercises. So in the teaching self-government system, we use the SOTAS exercise. This exercise helps develop the prefrontal cortex. This is an acronym that helps remember how to solve problems in the future. So you will teach those things while you're setting up that entire family economy. And don't forget to come up with the consequences needed for when someone goes completely out of instructional control. The TSG parenting course will coach you through that process. Another meeting that you want to implement is the mentoring meeting. This is a meeting where you meet one-on-one with the children, you talk about your relationships, you talk about their goals related to the different areas of development, and you help them take ownership over their days, their time, and they make plans for themselves. These are great steps as self-government. After your family has all of their meetings in play, and they have learned the skills, they've got the vision in place, they understand the roles and the relationships, now you can create what I call a family mission statement. Our family mission statement is contained in this book, Parenting a House United. This is a great statement to say on a daily basis so that your family can refocus back in on that goal, that vision. Remember, that gives everything a reason why that we're going to care about it. Another thing that's contained in this book is our family standard. So the very last thing that you'll do is institute the family standard. This is where you have all of the family rules about things related to like technology and boundaries and modesty and language and, you know, all those things that are kind of the hot button topics. But you have to wait until the end to bring those things in because they need to know how to follow instructions, how to accept no answers and criticism, how to accept consequences and disagree appropriately before you bring those things in. This book takes you step by step through how to bring in the family standard. That was a really quick rundown of what to do in what order, but that is the order that the course goes through as you learn it at teachingselfgovernment.com. Get started today. Go step by step through the process. When you sign up for the TSG parenting course or you sign up for the parenting mastery training, you will learn all of it, plus get all of your questions answered. The TSG parenting course comes with 4 mentor calls with a certified teaching self-government mentor that I've trained, and both the course and the parenting mastery training come with 6 months free on the support group where I answer your questions in a Zoom call every single week. And if you can't make it live, no big deal because they're all recorded and sent out. People who use the support group and who participate in these trainings really do get good at teaching self-government the quickest. So to find out more about all of these resources, how to use them, and to sign up for the next training or courses, which you can do at your own pace and you can have them for a lifetime, go to teachingselfgovernment.com.